So David Hogg and the liberal faction of the Parkland students are at it again, this time launching what they're calling die-ins, actually laying on the floors of Publix supermarkets. And they did this, well, they did it on Memorial Day weekend, really not seemingly caring about the people who were shopping for their families, those people potentially veterans, families of veterans, families and friends of veterans killed in action, but didn't seem to stop what I'm beginning to call Victim Inc., the victim industrial complex. People like David Hogg, but more importantly, his liberal masters, groups like Michael Bloomberg's anti-Second Amendment organizations and George Soros's Open Societies Foundation, unions like the Service Employees International Union, far-left groups that are funding, and I feel, unfortunately, using these kids as pawns. Here to discuss it with me is Javier Manjarres. Javi is the publisher of The Floridian and Shark Tank, two of the most prominent Florida-based political sites. He's also a U.S. congressional candidate, a Republican for District 22. It is, Javi, correct? District 22?
Yeah.
Which covers Parkland. You're looking to unseat, as a Republican, the Democrat, Ted Deutsch. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, all right, let's talk a little bit about this die-in. I saw it in the news. I rolled my eyes. David Hogg and his crew apparently are laying down on the floors of Publix supermarkets to protest Publix giving Florida's Secretary of Agriculture, Adam Putnam, now a Republican gubernatorial candidate, he's in the primary, they are protesting them donating to Putnam because the NRA also donated to Putnam, correct?
Correct.
So they staged this die-in. Did they do it at one Publix or multiple?
Actually, he did it in Coral Springs. I went to the Publix in Parkland where he did it, where they conducted it as well.
Oh, you were there. So you were actually at one of the locations.
Right.
How many, all right, first of all, how many students, activists showed up? Was it primarily students or were there adults in the mix as well?
Right. I counted about 10 to 15. One adult, and that adult was an actual priest.
Wow. And about 10 to 15 protesters.
Right.
Now, what was the real general consensus of the customers? I know what they would say on the cameras. They would want to seem to be supportive of the kids. But person to person, when the cameras weren't rolling, when the media attention was off, were the people supportive, the customers in Publix, or were they basically rolling their eyes as well, saying, okay, this is now ridiculous. I'm just trying to buy groceries?
Well, for the most part, when I walked in, they had just laid down, and the actual customers didn't seem to care. They just ignored them, and they walked around, looked at them, walked away, and walked out. Same with the employees. It was more like a nuisance. The look on their faces were they were annoyed over this because at the end of the day, I think most people think like I think maybe you think that this was just a simple mockery of the entire shooting. Calling it a die-in, for God's sakes, on, like you said, on Memorial Day weekend. But for the most part, what's worse is that they did it to emulate exactly what happened on February 14th. And I think it was a slap in the face to all those families and the 17 victims that died. And as a matter of fact, yesterday I was at my, my better half is pregnant, and as I was taking the elevator to my doctor's office, I ran into Anthony, the last child released from the hospital. He was actually going up to the 6th floor of Broward General to see his orthopedic surgeon, who happens to be one of my close friends and supporters, Dr. B.J. Cross.
What's the doctor's name? I'm sorry?
Dr. B.J. Cross, Brian Cross.
Wow. And so, because I see kids like Kyle Kashav and others who want no part of this, the Pollock family has been incredibly dignified in the way they've handled it. Hunter Pollock, Meadow Pollock, of course, who was tragically murdered, her brother, has been very vocal on social media, condemning these, really basically saying, let's stop trivializing this. Let's have bipartisan common sense solutions here, but let's stop with this far left agenda driven. Really, this is, to me anyway, this is stunt activism, isn't it?
It was just a big gimmick. And I've said it before. I confronted one of the girls there and I said, look, what you guys are doing is a mockery. This is a gimmick. It's disrespectful to the families, to everyone that was affected in the community and around the country. And I asked her, would it be any different if Adam Putnam received a B rating or a C rating? And she had no answer for it because they don't have an answer. They're just spewing talking points that they were handed to them by, like you said, leftist groups like the Soros of the world and the anti-gun lobby.
But Javi, I'm glad you brought that up because that's such a critical distinction, right? So what they're protesting is the fact that Adam Putnam received money from the NRA, and my show has a conservative bent, so the audience knows for the most part the NRA does ratings of politicians. Right. Putnam has consistently had an A rating. He's been very good on the Second Amendment. But you're right. I don't believe these kids know the difference between an A rating, a B rating, a C rating. I would venture a guess the majority of them don't even know the NRA rates politicians. They just heard NRA bad, left-wing groups good, Putnam got money from NRA, so Publix gave him money as well. NRA bad, ergo public's bad. I want to keep bringing you these stories every single day. So help me do that by subscribing to our premium service at www.therebel.media/shows. I gave you that story about Tommy Robinson's life being put at risk in jail. Stay tuned to The Rebel. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook for the updates on what we're doing and how you can help Tommy Robinson and really help a free press all over the world. Also, go to the App Store, download the Rebel app. As always, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.